Hi Leute und willkommen zurück zu Genshin Impact. Wir machen weiter und zwar nächste Mission irgendwo vor Liyue. Und das müsste die Mission sein, in der man Kazuha kennenlernt.
Never imagined your sister would have sided with the Abyss. Well, keep your chin up. Paimon believes in both of you.
Schön, dass da stand Kopf hoch und Paimon sagt Kinn hoch.
And when the going gets tough, the tough get going, right? She said we needed to reach the end of our journey. Paimon bets she still has lots more to tell us. And we won't find out what this journey is or where it will end unless we keep going. Aw, don't mention it, partner. Travel buddies are supposed to look out for one another. Although, where should we go next? If we want to continue with the journey... Oh, you mean the god that took your sister away in the first place? You're right. After all, everything that followed, all this confusion, it all started with her. Yeah, Paimon bets she's the key to understanding this whole mystery. Well, we've ruled out two gods so far, the Animo and Geo Archons. So, next... Paimon doesn't think we can simply walk into Inazuma. Zhongli said it was a closed nation. We'll have to find some other way in. Why don't we ask someone from Inazuma how to gain entrance? Oh, Paimon's thought of someone already! Atsuko in Liyue Harbor! She's from Inazuma! Let's see what she has to say!
Okay. Dann schauen wir uns das Ganze doch mal an. Achso, ja, heute Abend kommt auch Kazuha. Wenn ich ihn pulle, dann natürlich gibt es ein Video dazu, ansonsten nicht. Seinen Stuff kann man noch farmen, den man braucht, um ihn zu leveln im Archipel. Hier überall, wo die Sterne sind, da ist eine Pflanze zu finden, die man für ihn braucht. Und das Boss-Teil, was man zum Leveln braucht, gibt es natürlich von dem Boss. Ich hätte, glaube ich, alles zusammen. Aber wenn ich ihn halt nicht ziehe, brauche ich es nicht. Deshalb drückt mir die Daumen. Sonst kommt nur das Video heute von Genshin.
Oh. Hello. Oh, I mean good fortune, right? I'm still learning to talk like a local. Is there anything I can help you with?
We wanted to ask, how do we get into Inazuma?
Oh, so that's why you're here. Well, there is a way.
Great! We came to the right person!
But the chance of success is incredibly small.
Huh. Incredibly small? Then how did you get out of Inazuma in the first...
It was in leaving Inazuma that I found out just how dangerous this method truly was. All I had to rely on was a little wooden raft that I'd put together myself. There was a storm raging ahead of me, and my pursuers were close on my tail. After I'd escaped their clutches, I floated on the open ocean for I don't know how many days. My rations and fresh water supplies soon ran out, and I remember getting to the point where I was sure I'd reached the end. Then I blacked out, but to my surprise, my journey didn't end there. Or to put it another way, A new beginning found me. Ah, that's right. I escaped by the skin of my teeth. The fact that I'm even alive to tell the tale must be a sign that the gods were watching over me.
What a horrible journey! And you set off knowing how dangerous it was? Why?
Well, because everything is just too restrictive over there. The atmosphere is so stifling. The Kanjo Commission subjects everyone leaving or entering the nation to a protracted approval process, and I felt like I didn't belong there.
Kanjo Commission? What's that?
Along with the other two commissions, they oversee everything in Inazuma. We usually collectively refer to them as the Tri-Commission. I suppose they're equivalent to the 8 trades under the Liyue Chising. One of the obligations of the Kanjo Commission is to conduct rigorous identity checks on all individuals leaving or entering Inazuma. All non-nationals are processed centrally on Rito upon arrival. Meanwhile, the Tenryo Commission is responsible for implementing the recently promulgated Vision Hunt Decree. They act like the executive arm of the Raiden Shogun's rule, loyal, yet unfeeling. It doesn't feel good to speak ill of my home like this, but after spending so long under that oppressive atmosphere, I begin to lose all hope for the future. What I mean to say is, unless you have an extremely compelling reason to go to Inazuma, you should abandon your plans of trying to get there. You should know that the sea around Inazuma is engulfed in a perpetual tempest of wind and rain. Supposing you survived that, you would still need to get past the samurai guards that enforce the Sakoku Decree, the closed nation policy of Inazuma. And even if you did manage to find a way, you'd still have to produce the necessary documentation at the Rito Center for processing Outlanders. Otherwise, you'd be kicked out immediately.
Seems like they really don't want anyone setting foot in Inazuma, huh?
Wie wär's, wenn wir einfach mit niemandem sprechen, solange bis wir den gefunden haben, den wir suchen? Und jeder, der den sprechen will, Kopf kürzer machen? Mann, Mann, Mann. Wir haben es nicht so mit Papierkram. Wie umgehen wir das denn?
They only set that up as a port to guarantee a supply of goods and information to the island. Most Outlanders would be unable to acquire the documentation needed. But if you really are set on going, there is one thing you could try.
The raft idea sounds a little on the dangerous side. Plus, Paimon would definitely get seasick.
That's not what I meant. You could ask someone from the Crux Fleet if they have some way of getting you to Inazuma. They're well known in Liyue. Voyaging far and wide has made them a well-traveled group with a wide range of experiences. They may just know how to break through the storm.
But it's an armed fleet, right? Why would they agree to a request like this?
That part is up to you. If you're able to persuade their captain, Beidou, then the hardest part will be out of the way.
Ich bringe ihr was zu trinken.
The Alcor is the flagship of the Crux Fleet. I heard that it's currently anchored by Guyunstone Forest on a supply run. This might be your best chance.
Then there's no time to lose. Let's go find Captain Beidou.
They didn't wait for me.
Yay.
Evil shall be dispersed.
Ihr könnt auch von da oben fliegen, wenn ihr möchtet.
Yahoo!
Oder geht einfach mit Kaya übers Wasser. Oder ich glaube, geht das? Ich glaube, man kann auch von Liyue mit dem Schiff, mit so einem kleinen Minischiff sich rüberfahren lassen oder so. Ich weiß auch nicht genau an welcher Stelle.
Brace yourselves.
Guten Tag.
I wonder what's going on up there.
Ahoy there, mateys! Time to set sail!
Oh, da ist der Bengel.
Who have we got here? Wait, I know you. You're that traveler, aren't you? The one who fought against the Fatuian Osile, right? Ningguang told me about you. A traveler of great insight and remarkable skill has saved Liyue, she said. She's a hard one to please, so praise from her is high praise indeed. I remember thinking at the time that it'd be good to meet you in person. Judging by the clothes on your back and this floating thing, I guess that time has come.
Hey! The name's not Floating Thing, it's Paimon!
Na, ist aber jetzt Floating Thing.
Paimon? What a fascinating being. You two give off not only the essence of wind and earth, but also of... yes, the stars.
Huh? The fragrance of what now? That's the weirdest compliment Paimon's ever heard.
Pay it no heed. I mean only to say I am certain that it is by fate, not chance alone, that we should meet. And that gives our encounter meaning.
You're not far off, but they go by a different name in Inazuma. This young man is Kaidahara Kazuha, a temporary addition to my crew for reasons I won't bore you with. Occasionally he opens his mouth and flowers come out instead of words.
With this fine ship and the soft sea breeze, would it not be romantically irresponsible of me not to acknowledge it with a line or two of poetry?
No, I can't argue with that. Okay then. Once the clash is underway, I'll give you a chance to perform.
Only if the mood takes me, of course. Poetry for poetry's sake tends to lack meaning.
Hey, you don't want to pass this opportunity up too easily, especially seeing as our great hero here might be in attendance.
Oh, wait a minute. What's the clash? Also, just to clarify, by great hero, do you mean...
Huh? I thought you might be here to sign up. You're telling me you've never even heard of it? The Crux Clash is a martial arts tournament that I hold. There'll be a whole bunch of folks taking part to showcase their talents.
Hä? Ich dachte, das ist was von Mondstadt.
There are two important rules. So, you've got enough two. You can't take part if you've got a vision. Otherwise, things get a little one-sided. You must be feeling confident, but you might want to watch out. There are a few crouching tigers and hidden dragons lurking around in Liyue. And with Liyue's savior taking part in the tournament, now that's gonna turn a few heads.
But we didn't come here to...
Well, before you dismiss the idea completely, you might be interested to hear that the prize this time round is particularly sought after. Get this. It's a masterless vision.
Supplied by myself, as a matter of fact. If the tournament champion can reawaken that vision, it belongs to them.
Is there really such thing as a masterless vision?
When a vision bearer dies, the light in their vision will fade away. But the shell that housed that light remains. As for whether this shell has any practical application, well, this remains to be seen. But my intuition tells me that while it remains in the world, it may just be possible for someone else to inherit it.
Yep. And the way I see it, a vision is a badge of recognition from the gods. So if anyone's able to rekindle it, it's gotta be an individual of exceptional strength and talent. Organizing the clash is my way of uncovering hidden talents. And hopefully this time, getting a vision to glow again. So if you don't have a vision, this is the perfect opportunity to get your hands on one of your very own.
Yeah, we're interested in getting to Inazuma, not fighting in some tournament.
Inazuma? You want to go?
Well, why didn't you say so? Inazuma, no sweat. In that case, if you win the tournament, I'll give...
Jawohl, ich hab verstanden.
What's
Überspringen.
wrong with that?
What are we gonna do?
It seems like
Gatsching. Geh zum Turnierort und verprügel alle. Mach ich. Da sollen wir was laufen. Nervig.
Before we sign up, let's see who the other competitors are.
Also Kämpfer sehe ich hier nicht.
Hi there.
That's right. Nothing beats real, but this turn
Exactly.
His master.
famous. He's the founder of the Ling Shan clan. He's got to be to the Ling
Forced to
It's a type of, for example.
One time, he sent a challenger flying.
It sure is.
We're
There's a tuition.
Of course.
Recently, though.
So, if we can get our hands on a vision too.
Well, we
Exactly. Folks will come from far and wide.
see you in the.
Also die sind nur mehr zum gucken, was andere machen und nicht wirklich um mitzukämpfen, ja.
Hey, youngster. If so,
So you're
you better believe from me. Obtaining a vision is the final and most important piece. No. I know how that. I've passed it in most people's eyes. I am already the very a vision.
you have so much self-confidence.
That's not important. I've also brought. Of course, I also put in a few good days' practice. Ha! Now then, if you don't mind, I need to finish my pre-competition routine. It's not too long now before you'll get to see.
Einen Angeber haben wir auch dabei. Mal gucken. Du siehst wenigstens bis nach aus.
Hello. Are you?
You bet I am. Have you put your names down yet? Well, I'd have a look at the Clash as a Nobody wants.
Yeah.
Me? Only a former. What? You? Not to mention, I've helped the Millilith catch treasure hoarders before. They tried to sneak. I stood my ground, of course. A roundhouse kick sent the. I'm not saying I can't.
But for us, it.
I'll see you in the arena.
So to recap,
Keine
we're up against
Konkurrenz.
an inflated ego, some gullible guys paying way too much for their kung fu classes, and another guy who's just really average.
Chinksa Village arm wrestling champion, huh? Next, please. What's your name? Wait, aren't you? Did I hear that?
Is it really them?
Huh? Aren't they a vision bearer, though? Why are they trying to enter the clash?
I have to ask. Aren't you the traveler that helped Liyue fight off that? Oh, it's really him!
The one that spoke with Lady Kuching at the right.
Oh, I wonder if I can get his autograph.
I trust you are aware that only those without visions. Really? But from what I've heard.
Yep, he still doesn't.
My apologies. It's just a formality. So far, I've got defeated the ancient god Osial, so that's one. Do you have any others?
Yeah. Also, don't forget to mention that the previous battles include, but are not limited to, Storm Terror Dvalin and Fatui Harbinger Child.
Whoa.
Might as well declare him.
I wonder if it's too late to withdraw.
Okay, that's plenty. Right, a great hero such as yourself can.
Oh, we're not here for that. We're here because Captain Beto promised to take us to Inazuma if we win the tournament.
There's another prize, too? Oh,
Beto must have upped the stakes this time to attract top 10.
But why would anyone want to go somewhere as...
I see. So, I take it you discussed your terms with Beto in advance, then? Well, I'm sure. Anyway, the
Hey, so even though you don't so Paimon... In any case, looking at the competition, all right, it's...
You seem like you're raring to go. Are you ready to compete? Good.
Mal gucken, ob wir gar keine Fähigkeiten benutzen dürfen, sondern nur schlagen oder sowas.
Seems like you've got a pretty good chance of winning this thing.
Our next competitor is seen by many as the favorite to win this tournament. His first bout begins now.
Come on, let's go sign up.
You? You're the hero they're talking about? How am I supposed to win now?
What a strange guy. Why is he so
Als wenn
confident
einer
to begin
Flincher
with?
gemacht hat, Junge.
Well, now that we've won, let's go and see Beto.
Er
She'll
war
probably have something to
also
say to us.
einer von den Schatzräubern, weil die können ja dieses mit dem unsichtbar machen.
I knew I wouldn't regret introducing you as the favorite. So, what do you think, Kazuha? He totally dominated that guy and did it.
Impressive. But I also observed our favorite exercise some restraint, as if to protect the opponent from serious harm.
Well, I've fought my fair share of battles, both big and small. And I say, after the show he put on just now, he's more than convinced me of his ability. So come on. We all know you've got a wide vocabulary in there. Can't you spare a word or two to congratulate our up?
All right. Let me think how to act. You fought well.
All right, then. I was thinking your inner poet might want to join in the fun. You know, a lot. And since you signed up, we've had many others do the same. Well, since... For one thing, we don't want you wasting... So, I'm putting you...
This is how Captain Beto worked. Besides, at your level, you would have made...
All right.
Nach langem Warten.
We're finally here, folks. The real show is about to begin.
Your opponent has fought many rounds to get to the semifinals. You may well be stronger than him, but this should not give you cause to lower your guard. Very well. Show me that you are ready to push through the storm.
All right, that's enough.
Your opponent in the semifinals is new to the Crux Clash, but he has quickly become... I do not doubt your...
Relax. My guy's at the...
Okay, follow...
Mal gucken, wer sich da reingemogelt hat.
At last, the moment we've all been waiting for. The semifinals have begun.
Ich glaube auch.
Who's it gonna be this time? The hero or the dark horse?
I don't care about the prize. You're a strong opponent. That's what I'm here for. It's a fury!
Nee, er haut auch so ab, okay. Dann war der andere kein
I'm
Schatz.
sweating all over. It's a good feeling.
Ich hab dich nur ein paar Mal mit dem Schwert geschnitten, während du mit der Fäuste gekämpft hast.
Congratulations. I was beaten by the best. I need to
Right. For a moment there, Paimon was a little worried. If you had a vision, you'd definitely be one of the strongest around.
I wanted a vision once, when I was a kid. People said that if you're strong enough, you'll have your chance to get one. But mine never came. I lost interest eventually. You can't depend on a vision like you can your own body. I've fought and won against vision bearers before. The power they have was given to them by the gods. I don't envy it.
Huh? You mean you didn't sign up to try and get your hands on that master list?
No, I didn't. I only wanted to pit myself against other fighters. And only in defeat can you understand your weaknesses and learn from them.
Wow.
If you have the chance in the future, please come and spar with me again.
By the way, do you know who else made it into the finals? Is it gonna be someone even tougher than you?
Whether they'll be as tough as me, I don't know. But what I have heard is that they're extremely quick. So don't get too cocky.
There he goes. Maybe we should ask around, see what we can find out about her.
Ah, it's you! I myself was eliminated in the
Aw,
Why, yes. He's the same one who defeated me. I faltered for but a brief. Given my stature, I have no fear of squaring off with physically. Still, I'm sure he'll be.
Hey there!
He tried to use force dispersal to deflect a punch, but instead he took it straight to the nose. There was blood all over the place. His opponent was pretty freaked out by it. He kept asking him, "Why didn't you dodge?" But he was pretty much out cold by that point and couldn't "Why don't you dodge?" they ask. Because to not dodge is the very essence of Lingshan clan kung fu. Don't even get me started. I spent all my energy helping him get from here to the boat to take him back to the harbor. I don't dare tell my master about this. Sorry, I shouldn't be.
Oh.
Thanks,
Ja, ja.
We still haven't got any useful information.
You gave an outstanding performance. I could sense that you're not familiar with bouts of this kind, and it could have cost you the match. But you were quick to adapt, and managed to claim victory over. In fact, I discerned this not from what I saw, but what I heard. The ground beneath your feet, and the pattern of your breathing. But it is nothing remarkable, for I discerned nothing more than Captain Bait.
He's right. But in my case, I was purely relying on previous experience. I guess not using your elemental powers must be quite new for you, huh?
We wanted to ask about who our opponent will be in the final round. Do you think they'll be stronger than the one we faced?
Not exactly. Contenders that reach the finals aren't necessarily stronger. They tend to have something unique about their style. As for the guy you'll be facing, his skill lies in his speed, and he has superior form. It's also obvious that he's seen his fair share of battles. What's the matter? Worried that you've bitten off more?
If that is the case, then I have a proposal for you. Let's go somewhere a little quieter, shall we? I haven't properly introduced myself yet. In the land of Inazuma, I was a wandering samurai.
Yeah, we could tell that from your getup. But at the same time, when you talk, you don't really sound like someone who's used to waving a sword around.
It is true that I am versed both in literary and martial traditions. But on the straggling path of a wandering samurai, is there harm in acquiring a surplus skill? I do not mean to flaunt my martial prowess, but I myself have witnessed reputable fighters hailing from across the lands. I do possess some not given your talents. A few hints from me will be all that's...
Hang on. Don't you think you're bending the rules a bit there?
Gathering intelligence is an essential part of any duel. Besides, our favorite here has fought many battles on their journey from Mondstadt.
You betcha! Wait a second. We never told you that we've been to Mondstadt.
Does one not leave a trail when traveling through? However, there is only so much that can be discerned from these traces. I sense that many things about you elude me still. Come with me.
Okay. Jetzt mal wieder wegrennen. Ist das euer Ernst?
Now that we're alone, let me cut to the heart. You are skilled in manipulating the elements. And not just a single element, but multiple.
Paimon knew that you were hinting at something from the moment we met.
That's right. If the other contenders were to catch wind of your elemental abilities, let's just say, it would cause some unwanted misunderstanding. If I'm not mistaken, you share these considerations, given your reluctance to use elemental skills even... When I talk about that which I see or hear in you, this is not poetic symbolism at play. I mean these things in the truest sense possible. Since a young age, I have been attuned to the tidings of nature. I hear the breath of the wind and the whispers of the leaves. It is things of this nature that I also hear from within you. Nothing more.
As crazy as all that sounds, somehow Paimon still believes you.
My humble abilities are negligible compared to your incredible feats. To think a human could wield the elements without a vision. And not to mention your incredibly complex scent, like that of some mysterious being.
Hey, stop evaluating us based on our smell! It's weird!
Could you perchance enlighten me as to how you managed to obtain your combined elemental abilities? Extraordinary. So then, might I be so bold as to inquire how exactly it is that you learn to channel elemental energy and even wield it in combat?
Aw, it's nothing really. Paimon just told him whatever came to mind. It's been a long journey, and many things have happened along the way. Somehow, he just naturally learned to use the elements through it all. Honestly, even Paimon doesn't understand how it all works.
Perhaps such unfathomable things are the essence of the gods and the visions they grant. However, I still wish to have the honor of seeing how you wield the elements. Perhaps it may yet reveal something to me. Of course, I too shall share with you all that I've learned. Now then.
Endlich! Jetzt werde ich verprügelt.
You control the elements without a vision. Oh, pay no attention to me. I was just talking.
Okay, besiege die Monster. Welche hat... Ah, gefunden.
Yahoo! Time for takeoff.
Your skills in battle are truly beyond reproach. Even with your opponent's speed, he shouldn't be able to overwhelm you. Your opponent is skilled at controlling his breathing and maintaining balance, which enables him to execute moves that many would find impossible. He relies entirely on the element of surprise to defeat his opponents. In other words, as long as you remain mindful of please, save your thanks. If any, the world is a truly mysterious place.
You seem kind of upset.
I desire to know what meaning, visions, and what influences the gods' decision to grant... My apologies. You must be completely in the dark for allowing me the honor of witnessing your mystical ways. I am willing to answer any questions you may have. So that's what you're curious about? As you well know, a vision hunt decree is currently underway in Inazuma. Visions are a gift bestowed by the divine. People that have accepted this gift are now having their visions confiscated inexplicably. Sometimes in circumstances that leave their original recipients dead. In the outset, supposing each of the 7 Archons had their criteria for granting visions to living beings, then does the current Electro-Archon now doubt the... Not to mention, with no new Electro-visions having been granted for such a long time, it would seem that we can infer something of the Raiden Shogun's feelings on the matter.
She sounds less like an Archon and more like a type.
As far as I know, she is an Archon that pursues eternity. She will relentlessly carry out her will with no regard to what others may think or Liyue's contracts are meant to benefit all who reside within Liyue. But what does Inazuma's pursuit of eternity bring to its people? It goes without saying that the people locked within Inazuma do not fare well these days.
Sounds a lot like something the god you encountered in the beginning would do.
Oh? Have you encountered the Electro-Archon before? With time, we will change. But the Shogun will remain the same. If you wish to find her, she will forever be there. There will come a day when I too shall wish to understand the answers to eternity from her. Ah, the time for your match is approaching.
Oh, right!
If you have no other matters to attend to, then we can return together. Very well.
Uff. Oh ja, danke. Ich dachte schon, wir müssen jetzt wieder rennen. Muss ich Bedo verprügeln?
Why isn't he here yet? Never mind. We can start by making your entrance first. Everyone, listen up! We've reached the climax of the... We've seen many exciting... Now, I'd like to introduce our first combatant. Though few have seen him, his reputation knows no bounds. He strikes fear into the heart of Osile, and the mere mention of his name causes even the Fatui Harbingers to turn pale in the face. Introducing Liyue's traveling hero!
Wow!
I'm sure everyone... But today's final round will As for our other combatant... Oh, come on. Apologies! Everyone just sit tight. We've got no other choice.
Wait a moment. Something... Captain Beto, perhaps we should check on the prize. Traveler, come with us.
Let me see. It's gone all right.
Huh?
We don't know when it was
No need to worry. Even the craftiest sleight of hand does not escape nature's... The vision was the prize that I had offered, and it was my responsibility to look after.
Well, if you and I'll stay here and try to offer...
If you would, please come with me.
But we're on an island.
Come with me.
Huh? A wind current?
The winds have come at an opportune moment. Let's seize this chance. Ride the winds upward. From there, we can continue our search for clues.
By the way, what made you suddenly think of checking the prize in the first place?
I heard it the moment it was stolen.
Well, then why didn't you stop him?
You'll see shortly.
Guten Tag. Ich muss ein bisschen was einstecken zwischendurch.
The winds are guiding us forward. The culprit is on the opposite shore now.
You can hear that too? What does it sound like?
Hubris. This way. Follow me. There may be an ambush waiting for us up ahead, but I trust that you are well prepared for such a scenario.
Hoarders, they're here! Get them!
Treasure hoarders, just as I expected. In which case, please stand back.
Hat er was gesagt? Nee? Gut. Also doch.
You caught up with me? How is that possible? I had even prepared a boat to ensure a quick getaway, and still you caught up to me.
No boat could ever match the speed of the wind.
The wind? What are you talking about? Oh, I get it. Your vision. Drat! If I only had a vision. Or, if I could activate this one, then you'd never be able to catch me.
This has nothing to do with visions. You may be skilled at vanishing from a crowd, but it seems you know precious little about how to conceal yourself from nature's gaze. Additionally, your chosen escape route was flawed for reasons that are too... In other words, you failed to meet any of the basic criteria for a grand heist. Namely, speed, stealth, and style.
You...
But most disappointing of all is the state of the vision in your hand. It appears that the vision doesn't respond to human desire in
Fine! I've had my eyes on this vision for quite some time now. I decided to register after hearing that this fighting contest was full of a bunch of lousy fighters. I fought my way to the finals and...
Aha! So you were supposed to be our opponent?
I'd intended to win the contest through skill alone all along. But then you showed up. After watching the semi-finals, I knew that I didn't stand a chance. But I wasn't about to give up on the vision since there was no use in trying to face you in the match. I was convinced I prepared thoroughly for my escape. Drat. This could... I know an empty threat when I hear one. Fine. But you'd better mean it. It didn't activate once I took it anyway.
You know, according to the laws of the sea, the penalty for stealing is breaking the culprit's arms.
Huh?
Not to mention that the item you stole was a prize. You didn't show up for the final match, and you damaged the reputation of the captain of the Crux fleet. It seems that it would be only fair to brand the word thief on your fore...
Whoa, we don't...
I never would have... If this is where talking gets me, then forget it!
Okay.
What are you trying to do?
Think you can get away? Yeah. Wouldn't glide.
I'll have my revenge, eventually.
No, no! Do what you want, but please!
He has persevered to the bitter end, and now death looms near. Yet, put down the vision and leave.
Huh?
What's wrong? It's up to you.
No.
Huh? Paimon doesn't get it.
I take no pleasure when people are forced into a corner. That is when they're... But unfortunately, nothing happened. Yes, from the moment I've tried, though futile, after seeing... Come, why don't you give it a try? I see. So you are also unable to rekindle the vision. No matter. This was expected.
Yeah, what?
The story begins with an old friend. He was once a good friend of mine. One day he asked me about a sword art of which he had heard, the Musono Hitotachi. I told him it can only be witnessed when divine punishment is administered. It is the pinnacle of the Raiden Shogun's skill, a symbol of ultimate power. But he replied, there must be one who can withstand it. There will always be those who dare to brave the lightning's glow. Then, the Vision Hunt decree arrived. People's aspirations were stripped away as the Raiden Shogun began to construct her ideal of eternity. While I was fleeing from place to place, I heard that my friend had challenged the Vision Hunters to a duel before the throne. A solemn yet brutal challenge. The defeated face divine punishment, while the victors gain a second chance. Perhaps he thought he of all people should make a stand. Coming face to face with the Musono Hitotachi was all that he truly desired, after all. When I arrived at Tenshukaku, the duel was over. I heard his sentence of divine punishment, his severed blade hitting the ground. Perhaps that was the glory he had yearned to witness. In his last moments, what expression was on his face? Before I knew it, I had stepped forward and snatched the dying vision and was running from the scene. All I knew was that I mustn't let his hope, which burned so brightly, become buried among the ice-cold statue of a god. Perhaps one day I may come to find that all I have done is meaningless. But as a wandering samurai, I find meaning in traveling.
Kazuha.
It's just another way of saying I do. All right then, it's time we returned. Allow me to gather the wind for us once more.
Huh? Did Beta leave already? Maybe she went back to her ship.
If you're looking for the captain, she was summoned by Lady Ningguang. It seems that the Crux clash got out of hand this time and has attracted her attention. Captain Beto was muttering something about Ningguang being a stick in the mud as she headed off to...
It's not unusual for those two to be at odds with one another.
But still, Captain Beto was disappointed she didn't get to witness the crowning of the new champion. She had been looking forward to it for quite some time.
The one who stole the vision was originally to be this hero's opponent in the final round. He knew he stood no chance of winning the match, thus the wicked idea, in which case the Crux clash comes to a clear-cut conclusion.
Huh? So that's what happened? If that's the case, then the rules stipulate that he is disqualified. And our hero...
Paimon thought we'd...
It doesn't matter. As the saying goes, honor given is honor deserved.
Yes, I believe, but the voyage to Inazuma is a treacherous one. you will be plagued by a perpetual tempest the entire... In fact, the relentless...
Hold on a second. You're saying she can change the weather just with the power of her mind?
Let us not forget that this is one of the 7 Archons. If Liyue's Morax could form Guyun's stone forest by casting down his stone spears, then it should come as no great surprise that the Raiden Shogun is capable of summoning an eternal tempest. Suffice it to say that if you wish to journey to Inazuma, the Alcor will need some time. You will be notified once all the preparations have been made. In the meantime, I intend to embark on a journey of my own. I will travel all across the vast lands of Liyue in the hope of finding a way to reawaken the vision. Thank you. One final word of warning. The part of your journey that lies after the storm may well prove to be the most arduous.
Ui. Geschafft. Meistermedaille im Kriegsturnier. Okay, das war's. Ja. Nichts weiter. Und jo. Das war jetzt irgendwie ein kleines bisschen Story in Richtung Inazuma. Und ja. Wenn ich dann unseren Samurai ziehe, dann nochmal ein Video. Ansonsten beim nächsten Event, es sollte ja eigentlich noch was kommen. Und dann natürlich vielleicht Ende Juli Inazuma oder was anderes. Wer weiß, wer weiß. Vielleicht wird Inazuma ja noch 5 Monate verschoben. Aber egal. Wir werden zwischendurch immer ein paar gute Events machen, so wie das Sommer-Event jetzt, wo ein ganz neues Gebiet dazukommt, einfach für das Sommer-Event. Dann dürfen sie gern auch noch ein bisschen verschieben. Ansonsten, es sollen ja auch noch mal ein paar neue Charaktere kommen, die wurden ja auch schon wieder geleakt. Wobei die Charaktere, glaube ich, auch in der Closed Alpha oder so schon mal gab. Aber ja, bis dahin, ciao Leute.